Hello, I've been looking in my bulletin board. I hope you've been over there too. Remember, it's at boards.barbershare.com. And scroll down until you find refuse to choose, because there's a lot of forums there. Get lost. And I noticed something, and I think I'd better address it because it's so common. Everybody gets in this trouble. Scanners more than other people, but everybody. My main principle is that you have to figure out what you love and you have to do it. Now, I've argued with people for years about how to do that, and I've got every argument in the world covered. You show me a new one, I'll be very impressed. But let's talk about scanners right now, because that's what I really care about at this moment. The big problem is we all, when we're thinking about what we want to do, we always mix it in with being practical right away. This is a really bad idea because you use two different kind of thought processes when you figure out what you love, which means what you might be genetically gifted at, designed for, and whether it's really possible to do it, which is a totally different kind of thinking. First of all, what you love is a feeling, and how to do it is reason. It has not about feelings, it's about possibilities. Secondly, your knowledge of possibilities is always, always limited. You don't know what's possible. You alone cannot know what's possible. And but there are ways of finding it out. So I'd like to talk about this today because it really, it kills more dreams. This little error kills more dreams than having an uncle who tells you you're stupid no matter what you say. I swear it does. And that's pretty bad. We're going to talk about that too. But this person said, I love biology. It's beautiful, it's infinite, it's interesting. I could go down in it and devote my life to one corner. It's too bad I didn't do well enough to get into grad school, blah, blah, blah. And somebody says, biology sounds like your main passion. Is that what you want to study in grad school? Is there some way you can return to that? And this person said, due to financial, practical, and other reasons, it's not really practicable to return to biology right now. That doesn't mean I've given up on it. I've just scheduled it to another point in my life. Okay, that's not an impractical way to deal with it. Great. But she's assuming that to study biology, which she loves, and I mean, she's got a beautiful description of it up there. She's got such a beautiful description. She says, I'm not sure if I'm a scanner, because I would just love to drown in this one thing. And she had poor health, and there was a lot of harassment going on, and a lot of real bad stuff that threw her out of it, okay? But she loves it, and she still loves it. Every time you think about something you love, this is important if you're a scanner or not. Every time you think about something you love and you can feel that you love it, I don't care if you think you're going to love it tomorrow or not. You feel that you love it. You must pay attention to that. What if you can't do it? You must separate the concept into two parts, and they're very important. Like you do with food, right? I'm in the mood for pizza, but all the pizza parlors are closed. That's a perfectly good sentence. I'm in the mood for pizza is the important sentence. Are all the pizza parlors closed? Well, we don't really know that, do we? Maybe they're open. We don't know. But the key thing is, I don't know what I want to eat. That's a problem. I'm in the mood for pizza. That's a solution. You love pizza, you can taste it, you're in the mood. Okay? Now, that's an important fact, and it shouldn't be bothered by any details of possibility. Once you got that one established, then you move over here and you say, is it possible for me to have pizza now while I'm really in the mood for it? And to get the answer to that, you need other people. Now, fortunately, there's the internet, so you can look up all the pizza parlors in your neighborhood, and maybe they're open, maybe they're not. Maybe you can call one, and maybe they deliver all night. Maybe that's not going to be a good pizza. But if you're in the mood for pizza, maybe you'll gamble. Maybe you got a frozen one you forgot about in your refrigerator. Maybe, I mean, tell as many people as you can. I'm in the mood for pizza, and I think all the pizza parlors are closed. Got any ideas? Somebody will say, I live 2 blocks from you. I got a frozen pizza if you want it. You could get a pizza. Not always, but most of the time. But don't ever say, I'm in the mood for pizza, but all the pizza parlors are closed and I can't have one. And certainly don't say, it's not practical for me to go into biology right now, but maybe someday. We don't know if you have to study it. We don't know if you can submerge yourself with that delicious feeling right now without going back to school. We don't know what you want with it. But you don't have to be practical about it. You don't have to go to a university to study biology. If you want me to, I'll look up free classes from the best schools in the whole world, and you can start studying it right now, tonight, in 10 minutes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that. I just wanted to talk about this one thing. When it comes to something really impossible, I want you to maintain the same principle. I'm going to tell you about a Twitter idea party. I invented idea parties in order to solve this problem. When somebody would say, I would like to do this, but it's impossible. It's like, you don't know what's impossible. You're only one person with a limited amount of knowledge. Even with the internet, you don't know where to look. What you need are real living human beings, and a whole bunch of them. And then my favorite place to find them is Twitter. So I once had a Twitter idea party to celebrate the anniversary of my first book, Wishcraft. And I remember one of the impossible dreams on it. I love it. I'm going to talk about it right now. This was 2009. Somebody came on and she said, I don't know what I want, which is something I hear very frequently, and which is, incidentally, never true. You always know what you want. And if you want 30 things, you always know all 30. It just takes a little while to remember them. She said, I don't know what I want. And so some of us asked her, what do you like? What do you love? What do you got? What do you know? And if somebody says, I still don't know, I say, well, you want to be a cop or join the army or organize the Dewey Decimal System or do a study on Robert's Rules of Order? And most people say no. So I say, well, if you know what you don't want, then you know what you do want, so tell us. She said, well, it's so stupid. That means she knows what she wants. I say, okay, we'll decide that. She said, when I think of what I want, I think of a huge room covered with really clean carpeting, no furniture. And on the floor are women's fashions, a dress with shoes and a hat and a scarf and a bag, just hundreds of them. And I don't want to be a designer, and I don't want to own those clothes, and I don't want to be a model. I just love those clothes. Now what are you going to do with that? That's nothing. And somebody said, wrong. She said, where do you live? And this person said, somewhere near Chicago. She said, okay, you're about an hour and a half from such and so where they're having a trade show for hair products. I know the people there. She said, yeah. She said that I used to be involved in that a lot. And a trade show is where everybody has different booths and they sell things to beauty parlors, to chains of beauty. They sell shampoo that's supposed to make your hair look good or dyes or something. And she said they have a lot of models and they practice on these models. And so they show you what they do with their hair and everybody stands around, and if the hair comes out gorgeous, when you go, ooh, I want a whole bunch of those, and they can sell them. That's what a trade show is. The problem is the models look like they just got through scrubbing the floor of the whole hall. They look terrible. They're dressed so badly, invariably. How would you like to volunteer if they gave you a budget to dress all the models for this trade show? She said, are you kidding? This job exists? She said, it does now. Email me and I'll give you the telephone number of a guy named Bob, and you're going to tell him I sent you. Well, she did it. She did it. She went and volunteered and she got this budget and she dressed up the models and they loved it. They loved it. She did a great job. You could have told she did a great job. I never had a fashion ideal. I never had a vision like that. And I shouldn't be sent to dress up models because I wouldn't know what to put them in. But she knew. She knew. She was a specialist who didn't know she was a specialist because you'd never heard of the name of that particular thing to do, that career. The thing was, she never told anybody about it before that time because she didn't think it was possible. It isn't possible to own a room with clean carpeting and a bunch of clothes on it that you can walk around in. I don't know if that's possible or not, but even if it was possible, why would you want it? Question is, she gave us the information we needed. What she wanted was to buy clothes and dress people up in them. And she didn't have the information she needed. And the reason I love Twitter, and I'm really, really annoyed with people who don't like Twitter and think it's silly, is because you've got zillions of people paying attention. The more people you have, that's an idea party. If you have more than 20 people in a room, you can ask pretty much anything and they will have an answer. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today. You don't know what's possible. So the second you start thinking about what you love, especially if you're a scanner, because there's so many things, don't say, I want this, but I can't because I don't have the money. We don't know that yet. We don't know if you need money. You don't know any of that. What we have to do is ask 50 or 60 people, somebody knows something. And then we'll find out what's really going on, okay? Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. Please leave a comment below. Tell me if this was interesting to you, or if you disagree, or if you have another question on the subject. I would love that. And also go over to my bulletin board if you want an extended conversation. That's at boards.barbarasher.com. I've got the link right below. And I hope you will subscribe, because I'm going to shoot these things out. I love doing this, and I'd like to know you're out there. Okay.